Hi, my name's Denise McCabe and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia on the New South Wales Central Coast, and this is my card and a cuppa for Friday afternoon. So let me just go and see if I can find you over on my Facebook page. It's always good to know that I've gone live in the correct place. So just bear with me while I have a little look. Okay, looks like I'm in the right place. Yep, it looks like I'm in the right place. So that's good. Hi Margaret. Hi Colette. Thanks for joining. Okay, so today I'm going to play with the new suite from the new annual catalogue that will be live on Tuesday, the 2nd of May. The suite is called Countryside Inn and it's blues. So it had me at the colours. It's all sorts of blues, so that's really lovely and they're my favourites. So sadly, well not sadly, but in my pre-order I put the new in colour stamp set codes and the cardstock codes in. I'm sure I did, but I got sent last year's in colours. So I had to return them. I could exchange them. I had to return them, and I noticed this morning I've got a shipping notification that my new in colours are on their way. But I've had to sort of use the other blues that I've already got in that suite collection, which is okay, but I haven't been able to play with the new in colours yet, so I'm looking forward to that. So let's flip over to my craft desk and I'll put my light on. It's always a bit bright at first. Okay, there we go. So Rowan says hi. Hi Rowan. How old is Rowan now? Is she 4 yet? She must be. Okay, so I've been having a bit of a play this morning with this suite. I can't show you the inside of the catalogue, but I can show you the stamp set. I know, I don't understand this rule, but anyway. Hi Sam. And these are the papers. So, as I said, the papers had me because they were blues. So there's all sorts of beautiful papers. There's little birds on some of them. She's 3 and waving madly. I'll wave back like this. So this paper is just gorgeous. I really love it. I think I'll have to get another packet of this because I'm going to go through it. Some of the pieces have got little animals on it. So this one has got bunnies on it. I suppose it's because it's called Countryside Inn. I don't mind the bunnies, but I can always use the other side if I don't like the bunnies. There's also little birds and another paper that matches the embossing folder, and this one's got little foxes. I think little foxes are cute, and then this one's just little trees. So it's really beautiful paper, and the blues in it are Balmy Blue, Boho Blue, which is a new in colour, Misty Moonlight, which is a returning colour in colour. I had that, and Night of Navy. So it's the Boho Blue that I don't have for this suite as yet. If I want a Smartie, yeah, I'll have a Smartie. I'd like to see you try and get that to me, Colette. Okay, so this is the embossing folder in the suite collection. It's really pretty, and the paper is beautiful. So that's the embossing folder, and as I said, it matches one of the sheets of the paper in the paper pack. So if you put it this way, it matches some of that paper. And this is the stamp set. Now the stamp set's a little bit interesting. These are the dies. So these are the Countryside Corner dies, and this is the stamp set. It is one big stamp that you can cut all the layers out with. I wasn't too fussed on the stamp, but I thought I'm getting a lot. So if you buy the stamp set and dies as a bundle, it will be $81. The whole suite collection is the stamp set dies, the embossing folder and the paper, and from memory I think it's about 116. I'll lend it to you down the line. So yeah, the stamp set's a bit interesting, but I'm willing to play with it. So that's the suite. I was playing with it this morning with the Circle Sayings bundle that's new as well. Let me find that. This one, and it's with a 2 3/8 inch circle punch, I'm pretty sure. So I was playing with that with this suite. So that's the embossing folder. I don't know if you can see the texture in it. I'm just delayed on the screen. It's a really pretty embossing folder. I want to play with that some more, do some techniques with that. So that's some of the paper. This is some more of the paper that I played with, the little birds and the Circle Sayings. This isn't anything to do with the Countryside Inn. This was my technique I did the other day with the rubber bands all wrapped around the block. I wanted to do it as a background piece, so that's my background piece. These dies are from the oh, what's it called? Beauty of the Deep, the ocean one that's new. This one. And I used the Circle Sayings with that because there's some seashells in it, so I thought it's coral. So that was my little play this morning. So what we're going to do is this was my play, and I thought that's it, that's the one I'm going to do for my card and a cuppa. So I've just got 3 strips of designer series paper, and I've stamped the stamp and then cut it out with one of the dies. And then I've got the bow punch, and I've just punched out a few little bits and pieces and stuck it in underneath. So it's quite a simple card, although there is cut embossing, so, or not embossing, cutting. I like the Country Inn suite too, Sam. I really do. It's so pretty. So our card base is A5 Night of Navy, cut lengthways. So I like my cards that way. I think I've told you that before. So we've got that, and then I've got a piece of basic white that's 10 centimeters by 14.4 or 14.3. It's half that, half your card, like the matting piece for your card front is either 14.3 or 14.4, whichever floats your boat. And then I've got 3 strips, and they're 3 centimeters wide by 13.9 centimeters long. So we're just going to attach our 3 strips. I've done the reverse. I've done this, instead of 1 piece of that, I've done 2, and I've done 1 piece of the little birds. So we shall attach this to our matting piece. It's a beautiful day on the Central Coast today. Absolutely stunning. I think it's 27 degrees, which is just ridiculous for this time of year. But lovely. I'm going to take my little Rosie for a walk after this, and I've got some catalogues to post. So we'll walk up and to the post office and post some catalogues off to some customers. So what I'm doing is I'm placing my 2 pieces on either side first with my borders that I want, and that's the best way to do it if you're doing 3s. And then this one just fits in the middle. So if you did this one, the middle one, and this one, sometimes you don't have them spaced evenly. It's best to do it from the outside and work in. Thanks, Sam. Okay, so I'll just put this one in the middle, like so. My little Rosie is on her bed and she just did a little groan, a little like sigh, so content because her mum is home in her craft room. I'm a bit content about that too. Okay, so we can actually attach this straight to our card base. I can do that now too. So let's do that. My son, Matt, and his partner Lucy have got a wedding to go to tomorrow, and I'm just listening to the weather reports about some weather event for this weekend. And I'm feeling so anxious for that couple and the parents. I know what that feels like. So the wedding's at Rafferty's Resort, so that's between here and Newcastle, sort of on the coast. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so that's our card base and matting all done with the paper. Isn't it gorgeous? Even with the reverse, the pale and the dark in the middle, it's still really pretty. So we'll move that over there. I've got my green tea. Have you got your Cuppas? Haven't got that Smartie yet, Colette. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so we're going to get our, I don't even know what this stamp is called, Countryside Corners. Now, I haven't put the sticker on the back of this one because undoubtedly I would get it crooked. So you don't have to attach your stickers to your cling stamps. They will cling without the stickers. So that's good to know. Okay, so I'm going to use Night of Navy, and I'm just going to ink it up like so. And I'll bring my basic white cardstock in. Oh look, I've already got ink on that side. I must have it on my fingers, but that's okay. So I'm just going to place it down on my cardstock and press. Okay, so we'll get my chamois and we will give that a clean. So that's how the stamp stamps if you ink it up completely, all in one go. It's a bit of an interesting stamp, and yeah, I'm willing to give it a try and play with it. So I can get rid of that big block. Now what I'm going to do is bring my card back in that I've done, and I'm going to get one of the corner dies, and I'm going to cut out that section only. So you can see all the dies layer and cut each section out. So if you just wanted to stamp that and cut that section out, you just get the smaller die and cut it out. So I think it'll be fun to play with and do layers and stuff like that. So let me just grab my cut emboss machine. And we will cut that section out. So there we have it. I'm just going to make sure it's lined up. You can sort of tell with the spacing between the next stamped image. I'm going to use my tape just to keep it in place. So these, just wondering if all of these would go through the mini cut emboss machine. I think it would. The biggest die, I'm not sure. I'd have to double check that for you. The small cut emboss machine. Did I say big? I can't remember. I was just, yeah. So that's what you're left with. But you can cut more layers out and do things with that. That's what I mean by saying I think it's going to be interesting and fun to work with. Okay. Okay, so we'll bring our sample card back in, and that's the stamp and that's the dies. So you can just buy the dies by themselves, as I said, and that would work perfectly. They're layering dies, so that they're great to have. Doesn't matter what you do. That'd be great to have. So I'll put that piece over here and maybe use that for something else. I'm going to my good old favorites, go-to greetings that I always go to. This one I put just a note. This one I think I might put thinking of you if it will fit. It might not fit. Oh. Will I risk it? Will I risk it? And I'm going to do this in Misty Moonlight. Not that you can really tell much difference. So I'll keep it down the bottom here, because then I don't tend to bring my head in as much, which is always a good thing. Okay, now just, yeah, not too bad. Could be better, but not too bad. Okay, it's just done with that very centered one. You just got to find the right shape that will fit. And it kind of fits. It's on a bit of a slant up, but that's okay. We can handle that. I'm going to put that up on dimensionals. Now I'm just using up some sheets of dimensionals that came out of kits that I've been making up. Been going through all my kits and making some of them up. Okay, so we can attach that. So I'm trying to get some samples made up for my launch and upcoming classes. So I'm just going to place that there, and I do know that the thinking of you is off on a little bit of an angle, but you know what, it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. Okay, so let's grab a piece of Misty Moonlight. There we go. And we'll cut both pieces, both bits of the bow punch. Now the punches are going up with the annual catalogue on the 2nd of May. They are going up $5. I think they're currently $34. They're going up to $39. So if you're wanting any punches, standalone punches, I would suggest you get them between now and midnight on Monday, because otherwise the punches are going to be going up $5. And this punch is actually going to coordinate with a new stamp set that's in the annual catalogue called Layering Leaves. It's a beautiful stamp set. It's for Rachel Tessman for her $1 million sales achievement, and she designed the stamp set to coordinate with this punch, and the sentiments in it are beautiful and the font is beautiful. So that is definitely on my wish list on the 2nd of May, because I do like a good stamp set that coordinates with dies. With a punch, sorry. What am I saying? Okay, I'm going to do a white one, but it wasn't quite wide enough, so I shall do the little one. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to get my glue dots, and I'm going to get my Misty Moonlight sprig. Oops. And I'm just going to poke it underneath. Press it down, and I'm going to get the white one, the little one. So I really love punches, especially when they coordinate with stamp sets. I think that's the best thing ever. There we go. Okay, and now this is the reverse. I'm going to do the white sprig. You could use vellum as well. Vellum would look really lovely with this punch, but I chose to use the coordinating colours that I had. Oops, that didn't work, did it? Now it's stuck to my finger. Okay, so I'll just tuck that under there. So that's that. And we've got to get some bling. Now I could use the new In Colour bling. I do have that. So they're all the new In Colours, and the boho blue bling would work. But I'm actually going to use, because I seem to have an excess amount of these iridescent pastel gems, which are carrying over. I seem to have an excess of the blues. So I'm going to use those and try and use up some things. So I'll grab a big one. Not quite sure where to put it. I might put it here, cover that little flower up, but that's okay. And I might put one up here. And it's always the third one I struggle with. We could put it here. Let's do that. Okay, so that's that. Now, because we've done it on a Night of Navy card base, we do have to do an insert. So I don't know what I've done. I didn't stamp anything inside it. Let's see what we've got handy. No, let's just keep it plain, because then it can be anything. So we'll just get our glue. So if you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like a catalogue, please let me know. I can get a catalogue out to you. I do run regular classes. I'm going to change my classes up a little bit for the next few months and see how that goes. I'm going to do a Friday class and a Saturday class. See how that goes. So there you have it. That's our card and a cuppa for today, using the Countryside In Suite papers, the Go-To Greetings, and the Countryside Corner dies. So I hope you like that card. It's just quite simple. It's just strips of paper and it just comes together really nicely. It'd be nicer if that was straight, but that's okay. We can move on from that. So let me just see if I can find you back over here. There we go. Yep. So look at my top. See, it's even blues. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, those of you that jumped on, and whoever watches the replay. I hope you enjoy that card. Yeah, as I said, if you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like a catalogue, let me know and I can get one out to you. Otherwise, I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I shall see you on Monday for my Make It Monday. Bye for now.